That one. Hello. Hello. Hi.
Hello.
There you go. I had to look for all of the things because suddenly when I went to the main chat, it said like, "Hey, your camera has a microphone," which isn't true. This is also like adds an entire extra bar, and my brain was like, "Wait, where did the other one go?"
Hmm. Right. You are unmuted, I hope.
Yes, both of us are unmuted at this point.
Fantastic.
I do wonder if the sound quality or like volumes are correct because it updated. You never know. Last time everyone was complaining that you were too loud or too soft or something. I don't remember.
I am always too loud and too soft at the same time. I'm like an action movie.
That is fair. That is fair. Yeah, I have this
But yes,
feeling that there's no one here yet.
I have this feeling that there are two people that aren't chatting.
That's also fair, but you probably checked the users.
I have checked the users, and it's a matter of time before anyone says anything.
That's fair. We'll see how
I won't call anyone out, but there's people.
that
But
is fair.
yeah, if our audio is incorrect, then let us know, because
Yes,
that is
please.
muy importante for us.
Yes.
Something we can't check.
You know what I
Well,
just
we can,
realized?
but
I probably should have done a summary for this one because right now it's been like 8 weeks, 9 weeks, something like that.
if you don't remember what happened at the end of the last one, you should have.
Yeah, that's a thing. We'll see.
um, I'm sure that in time they'll understand what is happening. Basically,
Yeah, that's also true.
she just got out of the water.
Yes.
They were at the lake, so that's what
Oh,
happened.
I can show you. I can show you mine. I'm guessing you're looking at me because stream is a
Yes,
thing. Nee, nee, daar is poofy sleeves. I'm
nice.
really happy with it. It looks so good.
Hell yeah. Audio sounds good. Awesome.
Good. Thank you, Spixie.
That looks good.
I am really happy with it. I'm also really
Good.
happy with how I did the sleeves because like they cinch in immediately and that makes them like really poofy.
Ah, yes.
But it's not like over my hands because it can't
Yeah.
like just pass over, so it's never like really in the way. So it's really good. I'm really happy that I did that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Now I just try to rearrange everything so I'm correct again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the poofy. I'm proud in general of the fact that I made a garment. I made a
Yes.
thing. Also, I have enough left over that I'm probably gonna make a scarf out of it too.
Nice. I have one little addition to your setup. You may want to change your camera angle so to be a little bit more down, so that your head is more in the top of the screen.
This is about as far as I can go because otherwise I need to flip my screen of my laptop forward.
That's already better.
Okay. I mean, I'll have to figure out if it's correct in the other
Pretty sure.
setup. I should be in the center, so it probably is, but it'll be fine.
I'm sure it will be.
Guess which one? It's probably gonna be this one, right? The Boo or Lucas? Squish?
Yes.
Eh, headset makes it difficult. Ow,
Ow.
ow, ow. I saw a TikTok or a video of a TikTok. I don't remember. Cool. Have fun with that. I saw a TikTok or
Hmm.
something from someone that was like teaching their dog to howl. I was like, you're gonna regret that. Like it was a
Yep.
puppy. That puppy's gonna remember that forever and is gonna keep doing
That ain't it, dog.
that.
No, it ain't it.
But yeah, they like in the car home they were like, oh, and the dog would go like do it immediately as well.
Hmm.
I was like, you're gonna regret that so fast. Like
Oh
they're
yes,
never gonna shut up because now you taught them that that's a fun thing that you like, and they're never gonna forget that.
especially as a puppy.
Especially as a puppy.
What a
It was a
terrible
cute dog
idea.
though. It was one of those droopy dogs that have like the droopy faces.
Ah
I don't
yes,
remember the name of them, but they're cute.
I don't know.
No, I. If anyone, it will be Apple coming into chat, or maybe Dragon Wolf, or either of them being in chat, being like, "Oh, that's that dog."
Oh, I know the name of that dog. Dog.
Dog with a
Just
W.
like every other dog, it's dog.
Dog. No, no, no. Every other dog is pupper. They're always pupper to me.
No, it sounds like a dog. It smells like a dog. It's probably a dog.
Puppy.
Well, either it's a pupper or a doggo, but that depends on the size. Oh, also, if it's a big dog, it's a woofer.
Yes,
And then its puppies are subwoofers.
absolutely. I mean, I would ask if everyone's ready, but I mean, I haven't seen Apple in chat yet. Floofers, yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Is Apple joining?
She should be.
Should be. She
I
ain't here
believe she
yet.
is on her way. Sippy,
Mm.
sippy. What can do?
Old-fashioned actual monster. No flavor,
Gladly.
just monster.
No flavor, just water.
No! Like, not a specific flavor. Shut up, dick.
There she
Hello!
is.
There she is. How is you? How is everyone? Monster
Going
water
well.
dog. Actually, there's a TikToker that does everything with Monster that people like recommend. So he had like Weetabix with Monster. He made rice pudding, but instead of using milk, he used Monster, which is horrendous. He put a banana in Monster. You know, it's horrendous enough.
Diabosha.
I don't remember his name. You might be right.
It's not his name. It's the thing he says. Because it's lifted from someone else's channel who does everything in vodka.
Yes, it is definitely based off of that. But he does it with anything, and not just like putting a thing in his monster. He
Yeah,
will
and
make
the other guy just
dishes.
does that the same thing with vodka. Just do
Oh, I
everything
didn't.
in vodka for a month.
Yeah, but that's my point. Like he doesn't just add a thing to Monster or the other way around. He makes dishes with it, like mac
Yeah,
and
all right.
cheese and things like that. I think both
Liquid
ideas are amazing. He does
Chernobyl.
definitely use part of that. I love drinking liquid Chernobyl with added ADHD elements.
Smells like it too.
Thank you, Apple. I'm really happy. Look at the poof. They're so poofy. I'm really happy with how this turned out.
I
Holly's
do
like,
en-
yeah, now we know now.
I do enjoy the apple flavored Chernobyl. That's nice.
Yes. I still have a normal white one, the ultra white that I usually drink. Um, but I yeah figured for today I wanted some extra sugar because this does have its sugar still in. It's very rare for
Yes.
me to actually drink anything with sugar, but we'll see how hyper I am at the end of the stream.
Oh boy.
I mean, you generally make me hyper too if you're in a mood.
Yeah. I
So
also don't really care.
no, you don't. Seven would have if he didn't leave in like 30 minutes.
Well, sounds like his problem.
He can go to concert of Ailstorm, pirate metal.
Ailstorm.
Yes, not to be confused with Hailstorm that
Yes, very different.
I'm wearing my shirt off.
Hailstorm, there it is.
Hail, hail, right there. Hailstorm with an H.
Oh, now it's just Lesto.
Yeah. No, 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 no. So,
Oh,
is there
Le Storm, even better.
no storm with a
But
little
yes,
wolf?
yes.
I'm in hell. If I sit back like that, I think of Call Me Chris, who does that when she's in hell. He's like, this is
Ah,
a joke I shouldn't be making, and she flops back her chair. He's like, I'm in hell now.
okay.
Thank you, Ram, for the
Hey,
lurk.
Ram.
Take your time. Do the
Need to do some
groceries. Do some
groceries.
important stuff.
Gross.
Yes, good luck on your quest.
Yes. Veritable adventure.
Okay. Are you ready to read?
I believe so.
Is everyone else ready for us to read?
Get them goods. Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Exactly. Perhaps.
Mayhaps.
Potentially.
If absolutely necessary.
If we must.
Oh, look, here we go.
That's more enthused. Good. Let's go. Kneecaps.
Yeah. No, I'd like to keep my kneecaps, thank you.
Delete them.
No. Yeah. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
Chapter 22. As Zenith and Delira crawled onto the land, the others gathered around.
You got her free. Well done, little lady.
Hazard said to Zenith. I didn't do a thing. It was all her, Zenith said, panting a little. Delira was hardly out of breath from the swimming, but it was more effort for Zenith.
You got her back to land again.
Lachlan sat them down on the grass and went to grab 2 towels.
I'm glad you both came back safe.
Zenith chuckled softly. Nope, also her, she said, pulling the towel tightly around herself. Delira politely declined the towel and walked up to her things. The water from the lake quickly evaporated on her skin, leaving patches of skin where it dried and patches of scales where it hadn't. She threw on a shirt with a high collar and turned to the others. Can you describe the beast that grappled you? Valentina asked eagerly, notebook in hand. It was a large, fish-like leviathan, with a head like an octopus. It had large fangs under its giant tentacles, one of which grabbed me as I was trying to leave the ruins with more literature. It flung me around like a puppet. It felt like I doubled over on myself from the force. It brought me to a cave or submerged appendix to the lake, which seemed like its resting place. Delira explained in as much detail as she could remember in the chaos. The leviathan let go of me slightly, moving me between its tentacles in order to eat me, but when I saw my chance, I lashed out. I hit the thing in the gums before it could close its mouth. It bled from where my nails scratched it, so it spat me out again. I was flung against the rock back wall of the cave. It roared at me before it charged headfirst towards me. At the last second I dashed away, so it smashed into the cave wall. Writhing, it tumbled. I figured if the beast would try it, it would probably try it again, so I swam to another wall as quickly as I could. It noticed me dashing away, and it tried to grab me with its arms again, but this time I was faster. I scratched on the tentacles that came closest, and it quickly sped away, earning me another roar and another dash attack. I waited for the perfect moment to escape, hovering in front of a stalagmite. As it collided, it pierced its own cheek on the rock spike. The water became darker, with thick clouds of almost black ink black blood. Its movement became slower, and soon it drifted through the brown pebble floor. It was very dark in the cave, with the muddled waters, so I tried to find the opening, a small speck of light. When I got up there, I found Zenith, entered the maw of the cave, so I explained that it was done and headed for the shore. You did that all by yourself? That's really impressive, Ira said, who had touched down as soon as the ladies came ashore. If there's a scary creature in that cave, maybe we should make our way to Myrefall, Sunit said, remembering the dark of the cave quite well. Yeah, with the literature you brought back, we can get to studying for a while. Ida smiled at her. The bags had all been packed since before the Lyra had been in danger, so they hoisted their bags on and started the trek through the swamp towards town. Zenith held in her steps to walk beside the Lyra, who was walking all the way in the back. Are you okay, though? She asked softly so the others wouldn't hear. Um, okay. The Lyra kept looking where she was going, but a small smile appeared. It was really impressive. I'm glad you got out of there, Zenith said, gently bumping her shoulder into the Lyra as they continued walking. As the outskirts of Meyerfall came into view, the party slowed down a little bit. The group came closer together to discuss their next move. Should we go straight to Tarlon with all these stone tablets? Valentina asked. We could also go to the library. Maybe Ahika could store them after we finish with them, Zenith offered. Bringing them to Ahika seems like the best option to preserve them. Besides, I don't think my workshop is a suitable place for ancient texts carved in stone.
You'd find a way to turn them into a machine.
Hazard laughed at his own joke.
And we should find our way to the library again.
Will we have enough time to catch the train back to Tarlon? Delira asked Zenith. Zenith was the only one who could read the texts on the tablets, because they had been written in the same ancient tongue as the other ones they had found at the other ruins. I'm not sure how long I'll need. A couple of hours at least. Maybe we can leave some at the library and take some with us to bring there later. Get as much reading done as you can before the sun sets, Valentina proposed. They passed through the center of town and almost automatically walked in the direction of the library, remembering where it had been. I'll do my best, Zenith said, nodding. It wasn't long before the group found themselves in front of the library again. The doors opened, welcoming them in. Ah, welcome back. Have you come to collect the trapped one? Ahika floated from the second floor down to the doorway. We've been up to the lake up north. No luck in finding the next relic, unfortunately. We did, however, find ancient texts that we are interested in. If we finish reading them, would you be interested in storing them? Any knowledge is welcome within my archives. I am delighted that you would think of me to hold such precious items, Ahika said, her face lighting up and the glow around her brightening as well.
Mind if we grab a chair? We came walking from up there. I'm knackered. Made quite the trek with these stone plates. If we could read these texts at one of your table, that would be fantastic, O keeper of this library.
Lachlan bowed slightly. As he went down, he elbowed Hazard in the side. No need to bow, my dear. You have all saved my library and my books. You are welcome to any comfort I can offer, she said, waving them towards the workbenches on the first floor, but also the more comfortable reading chairs on the second floor. Zenith took the bag with the two tablets she had been carrying towards the work table and laid them out. I'll get to work on these. Zenith sat down and didn't look up to see where the others would go. They followed her to the work table to help her unload the bags.
What was that for?
Hazard asked, rubbing his side.
For your dashing manners. Have some courtesy next time, please.
If you guys will be bickering, I'd like to ask you to do it elsewhere. I need to be able to focus on this, Zenith said softly. She wasn't sure if it was rude to request such a thing, and the insecurity showed on her face.
I'll be perusing the halls for literature. If anyone cares to join me, you are more than welcome.
Lachlan walked over to the stairwell, grabbing the railing, and with a flourish turned to face the group for people that wanted to follow him. Can I stay here with you? I'd love to know what these say, Valera asked Zenith. Zenith nodded, already tracing the words with her fingers slowly. I think I'll stay with you, ladies. Ira sat down across from Valera, next to Zenith, who didn't even look up from the tablet as their wings touched. I'm gonna go look for books on beasties. Valentina followed after Lachlan.
Well, I'll be in a comfortable chair, asleep. Wake me when you're done.
Hazard hobbled after Lachlan up the stairs, who practically flew up them. Ida's was left in the middle, not really knowing what she wanted to do. She went over to the work table to read along, but it was written in a language she didn't understand. After a couple of minutes of standing there, she turned around, said she'd join the others upstairs, and made her way to the staircase as well. Everyone had done what they aimed to do. Lachlan and Valentina were looking around at books, and Hazard was already asleep in a chair. His head cocked backwards, drool mingled with his facial hair. Idas decided to sit with Hazard, drawing out more of her blueprints. During most of the rest of that day, Zenith pored over the 4 stone tablets the Lyra had brought up from the watery ruins. The 5 books that had been brought she left for later, because they contained much more information and it would take a lot longer to decipher all of the text. My eyes are getting tired, Zenith muttered, pushing the tablet forward and taking a small sip of water from a glass that someone had placed there for her. And I think we should probably fetch the others and head back to Tarlon, Ira proposed. I should still work on the books, Zenith said, looking over at the rest of the literature. That can happen later. We don't need to finish it all today. Ira stood up, suggesting she'd go upstairs to the others. Yeah, maybe that would be better. The Lyra already started putting two of the books inside the bag she carried. As Ira's eyes began with the second story of the Grand Library, she found Idas and Hazard seated in a large lounge chair. She was scribbling in her notebook while Hazard was, as usual, asleep. Further along she found Valentina in the biology and species section, and Lachlan peering through several books at once from the magical sorceries and incantations section. Ah, Ira, are you also here to browse for some books? I've actually come to pick you all up to go back to Tarlon. Zenith, has, Zenith has read through several of the tablets and she's getting tired, she said.
Zenith getting tired. That's new.
Lachlan said, chuckling softly. He and Valentina both put the books they had been looking at back on their respective shelves and walked over to the chairs that were occupied by Idas and Hazard. Are leaving? I was getting a little lost in thought on my design. Ida showed a couple of pages of her notebook filled at all angles with notes, drawings, and scribbles. Ira couldn't make heads or tails of what most of the descriptions meant. Yes, she finished all of the stone tablets. What are these drawings going to be? It's going to be a new machine I'm inventing. It's going to revolutionize our way of travel. I should come up with a name, she muttered to herself as she pushed her nose back into her notes.
I'm sure you'll think of something very creative.
Lachlan said with a small smile.
Let's head downstairs then.
He smacked a friendly hand on Hazard's shoulder on his way to the stairs.
Ah! Ha! What in the devil's undergarments was that? Are we under attack?
Hazard shocked awake so violently he almost stumbled out of the chair. We're leaving, so wake up, old man. You can sleep again on the train. Ida's put away her notepad and followed Lachlan and the others to the stairs. Hazard grumbled as he got up, stomping down the stairs.
And I don't even get any breakfast. Not necessarily. You want a piece of fruit?
You still carry those? It's been a while since you offered us a piece. Idas looked at the purple orb in Lachlan's hand. The aubergine fruit had a small, brighter colored nubs all over it and a short green stem.
It's juicy and will give you a lot of energy for the day.
Breakfast at a time we should be having dinner.
I always carry these, my dear. I feel it's very important to be able to feed not only yourself, but your companions too.
Hazard snatched it out of Lachlan's hand unceremoniously.
It'll definitely do.
He said, and shortly after he added,
Thank you.
As they left the library, Hazard took his first bite. Fruit exploded upon his bite in flavor and fruit juice. On the inside of a dark purple fruit was white flesh and small seeds.
You weren't kidding that these fruits are inconspicuous until you take a bite. This is great.
Hazard beamed a smile and scarfed the fruit down faster than a hungry tiger would do its prey.
I'm pleased you like them.
Lachlan said, with a bright smile of his own. They made their way towards the train station slowly, everyone tired from the long day. Chapter. Words.
Many,
Many, many
in
words.
fact.
A lot of me.
A lot. Yes.
So, is everyone liking it? Or did
Yeah,
everyone fall
how's
asleep?
it so far?
I have itchies. Lots of
Lots of
words.
words.
Yes,
Indeed.
that is very true. It was very nice.
Many,
Good.
many words. There were more than 10.
I mean, yes. Oh shit! But I only can only count to 4.
Oh,
Wait, how did I do that math again?
do 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus
Hold up.
4.
Hold up. Something feels wrong.
How many do you get then?
That is 10. Yes,
That
it took
is
me that long.
10.
Actually,
So
I had
many
to think about
reads.
it. Not only for you, but for the characters as well. So many reads. Yes, that is very
So
true.
many reads. Yes, the big read.
Also, the biggest like block of talking that Delira has ever done.
Yes.
Yes.
That is probably more words in that one part than she has said throughout like everything before it.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, yeah, maybe about that much. She has a little like a lot of little things that she says, but it's always short, sweet, and to the point.
Yes,
Not always sweet, but often sweet.
short and to the point.
Yes.
Just no humming and hawing about it.
It was short and sweet, just like Apple.
And to the point.
And to the point. Hubby's leaving. You can see him in the back. And I try not to put the characters into the people that made them anymore as much as I used to, but it still
Hmm.
happens. And I definitely sometimes see a little bit of Apple back into the thing. I'm gonna say
Short,
bye to
yes.
my hubby.
Sweet, no.
Bye bye. Have fun. Bullshit, Apple. You're wrong. You're very sweet. Just not always. Which, if you were always sweet, you'd be the wrong kind of apple. Most apples aren't always sweet. They change flavor palette. I don't know if
Yes,
everyone knows this, but it's true.
yes.
Hopefully he enjoys the pirate jamming session. I am sure he will. He's going with a friend. You're not a sour apple either.
You're only sour to yourself.
And you sometimes.
No, not even to me.
Sweet and sour. Every now and then. I'll agree to that.
That's a
You can't
pickle.
be you can't you can't be a sour apple always because you're always sweet to me. Poor Holy. I mean, apparently he doesn't see it that way. So either you're not doing your job well enough, or
Yeah,
he's just blind to it. Both is
both.
fair. Anyway, are we ready for the next chapter?
Are we?
Are we? That is a great
Are
question.
we?
Are we? Yar.
I'm blind to many things. I'm blind in general, just
Put
I
on
need
your
new
glasses,
glasses.
forehead.
I need new ones.
And then put on new glasses, forehead.
I do actually really enjoy the Granny Smith apples as well.
Yeah, they are good.
They are nice, especially if you put them in the fridge.
I
Get
only
better
let
eyes,
them.
forehead. Yeah, that's what I need.
I only get them every now and then. I usually get them for 7, but then I'll get 6 and I'll eat one, and then 7 eats the rest because it's the only fruit that I'll eat.
Ah,
Well, he does like watermelon as well.
yes,
Yeah, he's much like you.
yes. He's a fruit person just like me.
Uh-huh. He's
None,
a
except for
you said it
very.
exactly right. He is a fruit person just like you, whereas
Yes,
I am a fruit person just like Apple.
yes,
That sounds very familiar, right? Yeah, I
yeah.
thought so. Although I think Holy will also eat other melon kinds, and Seven doesn't. Seven just eats
Yeah,
one.
I do prefer watermelon, but I do
Yeah,
eat
that's
other like honey melon or cantaloupe,
Galia, something like that. Yeah,
gallias. Yeah,
that's fair. Very accurate, yeah.
cantaloupe is probably my least favorite of those four, technically.
Yeah, I prefer others too, but that's probably because they're nice and sweet. Whereas watermelon is just a lot of water, and I don't like water.
Well, it's not water though.
No, which is why I still like it. It's just less than the other ones. I like all the others more.
Yeah, I have the other way around. I like them all, but I like watermelon most and cantaloupe least.
I think if we compare which fruits me and Apple and you and Seven like, then it is very on par.
It's probably very similar, yeah.
Because I think Apple will eat almost any fruit, just like
A
me.
horned melon, ooh. I've
I
heard of
am
those before.
not. I'll
I'm
look
not
that up.
entirely sure what it was, but
Oh, wait, easier, because I'm gonna forget. Vixie, can you send me a picture of that in Discord?
ah, well, that works.
Yeah, it's mostly because I'm actually gonna forget that I wanted to look it up, and this way there's a chance of actually
A
being able
horny
to look it.
melon.
Oh boy, tasted like
A
a. You
cucumber.
told
Oh,
me about that actually.
oh. Well, then I might
You
like it.
did tell me about that. I'll see if I can find it around here.
I very much enjoy cucumber.
Same. I just
Just
never get
chop up
it.
a cucumber into blocks, put a little salt on there. Oh,
I never get cucumber, mostly because I'm afraid that I will not finish it, even though I know that when I do get it, or if I get it for something else, I'm usually the only one that eats it, so I'll still finish it, so I know I can. You know,
yeah, I
overthinking is
know.
the thing.
Uh huh.
Um, the other thing that I do, which is like, I've been craving yogurt for the longest time, and every now and then I'll get like a small container of normal yogurt because I just like it too much. Stupid, I know, but it happens. Um, so I got like actual yogurt, and then I was like, well, I really like the taste of this. Let me just get a whole container thing of lactose-free yogurt because that is better for me. Less pain,
Hmm.
no pain. And and then I end up not finishing it because I've already had the other yogurt, so the craving is gone.
Oh yeah.
I will say this time I've actually been able to still eat most of it. It hasn't been finished yet, but it also like it's still good until my birthday, which is 2 weeks. So I can
Well,
probably still finish
then if
that.
you get the craving, just get a small tub of the lactose-free one.
Yeah, I probably really should do that, shouldn't I?
Isn't
Or
that the
just
best of both worlds?
well, the problem is that not a lot of brands have the small tubs of yogurt. They'll have like Quark or something, and I'm not
Yeah.
always in the mood for that. Whereas the I now literally have Arla, like the very expensive one that shouldn't be that expensive,
Yeah.
um, which is good. I really enjoy it, and it's like it tastes normally like yogurt should taste like. I just am less likely to grab it for some reason. Yeah,
It's a,
I still don't know how you did that, Vixie. Was it really good?
it,
She made her
uh,
own. She made her own Parmesan cheese cream off of a recipe and tried it. It was in the server.
uh-huh. I can see why
Interesting,
that would be
surprisingly good, but
surprisingly good.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why that would be surprisingly good. Also, it's surprisingly good because it's not awful, which is already surprising.
It's surprisingly good because it's palatable. Doesn't mean it's good. I kid you not, it is
Yeah.
good, but only if you actually like Parmesan. Now that makes sense.
I mean, isn't that the same thing with strawberry ice cream? It's like, oh, well, it's good as long as you like strawberry.
Well, in that case, artificial strawberry, yes.
I mean, yeah.
Actual strawberry and strawberry products don't taste the same.
No, but that's the same with banana. I don't like either.
Yes, you used to, right?
I used to like bananas until I overdosed on them and never liked them again.
Yeah. Well, you've been trying a bit every now and then.
Hmm. Yeah, but still, like, if you like banana flavored ice cream, or if you like bananas, you like banana flavored candies.
Yeah.
If you like banana flavored candies, you probably like banana flavored ice cream as well. If you
Yeah,
like
but you don't
Parmesan cheese, then you
necessarily
probably like
like the
Parmesan
banana.
cheese ice cream as well.
But that's kind of the difference, though. So, for example, Seven will not eat banana. He will not kiss me if I've had a banana. But he
I
will
wouldn't either.
happily. No, I'm never gonna kiss you, so that works.
Cool.
Um, but he will happily eat a whole bag of those little banana candies from Haribo, the sugared ones.
Yes, but
So
he's
that
just
is
wrong.
the. I mean, he doesn't eat cheese, so yeah.
And very wrong.
Vixie, I do kind of expect why the flavors work together is because cream and cheese technically always works together. So the fact that they kind of work, I can see.
Cream and
If
cheese are
you
both Sonic characters.
okay, yeah, see, it's different. Even Apple agrees it's different.
Yeah, that was entirely my point. If you like banana and you like banana candies, you probably like banana ice cream as well.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that is fair.
If you don't like either one of those, then there's a chance you don't like banana ice cream or whatever combination of the three, right?
Yeah, that's fair. I like banana ice cream a little too much, which is a problem because they're always milk based.
Yes.
Yes, I should make my own.
Yes.
It's also just combination I didn't expect from a recipe from the late 1700s. Now that is also fair.
You know what? That makes a lot of sense.
I don't
18th
know.
century Parmesan cheese ice cream.
I do get the point of like having overeaten something. So a lot of people know that I have had a fair period of time where I couldn't make dinner because I had no energy.
Mm-hmm.
One of the few things that I have not ordered for us or for myself or whatever is Chinese food because I
Hmm.
overate that when I was like 7 to 12. We would have that several times a week because my dad just didn't have time or energy to do anything other than like make sure we were alive,
Yeah.
which is fair. She was all alone.
A
But
friend of mine in school had that with peanut butter.
I think Dragon has that with peanut butter.
Mm.
Banana brownie,
There.
I could do that. Or an apple
No,
brownie.
thank you. Apple brownie,
Apple
though. Mm.
apple blondie then. I would do that with white
No,
chocolate.
no, just with regular.
Okay, I'll give Apple the brownie and then you can kiss Apple and you have your apple brownie.
Well, that works.
Yeah, I thought so. You're never getting a brownie now anymore. She's always gonna go to Apple.
Sounds fine by me.
Does it? You
Yeah,
like your brownies a lot though.
yeah.
You're
Apple can
like, she's
share.
gonna give me them anyway.
Yeah,
She would.
Apple can't finish them anyway. So
No, that's fair. Yeah, I thought so too, but apparently not. The base for the ice cream is probably what's the best about it, but less sugar and less heavy cream if you put it in like strawberries. Put in like strawberry stuff. That's fair.
Ah,
That does make sense because it's more of a hearty uh, ice cream instead of
hefty.
a. No, yeah, well, it's like we have the word hartig, and I don't know what the English is for that. Savory. It's more of a savory ice cream instead of a sweet one.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd try it. Like if one of those fancy ice cream places had it as like a thing, say, hey, if you want to try this, you can try this. You can try it by a spoon, then I would. But I don't think I would ever pay for it or like make it. Like I don't want to
Yeah.
put the effort in. But I would definitely try it if it's offered to me or if I come over to your place, Fixie, and you still have some, I'd try some.
Well, by that time, you probably want to discard it.
I don't know. Most ice creams stay good for quite a while,
Yeah, I
especially if you
guess.
make it fresh. Although then there's no conservatives in there, so maybe less. But I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a difference, I'm sure. Anyway, maybe we should do another chapter.
Sounds like a plan.
Cool. Can someone say ready?
Are y'all ready?
I would 100% make a new batch. The old batch has been eaten already. There. Red. Red.
Read.
Have you really read everything, Dragon? Thank you.
No, no, it's read.
Read.
Exclamation point reads T.
Read.
Yes.
Let's get on it.
Ready.
Chapter 23. Exhausted and worn out from the day, they all dropped down in one of the train carts, and most of them exhaled deeply. It took them a while onto their travel for someone to start talking.
So, you managed to decipher the tablets?
Right, what were they about? Zenith looked up a little distracted. Oh, sorry. Two of them contained rules of their community. Rules? Like the law? Anything cool in there? Nothing worth noting. The other three had different topics. One was about something they called Witch Mountain, a warning, I believe. The other two seemed to have information about the tribe, mostly about how they conducted their life, like a history of their people from before they even became history. I didn't see anything about the relics yet. Can you tell me what you read about their life? What was it about?
Which mountain, huh? Sounds inviting.
It sounds dangerous. Sounds like both. They told me how they farmed underwater and how they lived there. That they had a big festival every year to keep the monsters at bay. And rules of how to treat each other. And I saw a mention of nymphs that would keep the others in line. Leaders or upholders of their rules or something like that. Keeping plants alive is difficult, even above water. They always die on me. Idas laughed it off nervously.
Festivals to keep monsters away. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Lachlan probed Idas in the side. I wonder what kind of monsters they had to deal with, Valentina said, sitting up at the mention. Witch Mountain, according to them, is riddled with monsters of all kinds.
Maybe we need to pay that witch mountain a visit.
Don't you think it's a little dangerous to deliberately go to a den of beasts? Maybe these beasts they talk about are the imps. How will we even find out what it is, or where it is? But I'd love to see anything. Asking around would be our best bet, I think. People in Meyerfall, maybe? It's probably one of the mountains they could see from their lake, don't y'all think? There's a large mountain range in the north, but he didn't think to look if we could see those through the woods. This is all the information I found transcribed, Zenith said, leaning back on the bench and holding up paper she had written on in the library. Doesn't sitting back hurt your wings, Zenith? Ira asked, casting a worried glance at Zenith. It's not comfortable. I just I couldn't breathe well in the water, and afterwards I did so much, I think I need to meditate a little while. Let's check out what C found and let her take the rest she deserves. Ida took the note from Zenith. I think we all deserve the rest. Valentina sat back as well, followed by a loud snore from Hazard, confirming Valentina's statement. Zenith turned a little in her seat, so her shoulder leaned fully into the backrest and her wings weren't being pinned anymore. She took a few deep breaths and closed her eyes, meditating. Delira, however, moved a little closer to Ida's, ready to read the text again. A few minutes before the train would halt in the station of Tarlon, Lachlan gently touched Zenith's arm.
We're nearly there.
Zenith opened her eyes, and while she came out of her meditation, the train stopped. They all exited and slouched their way back to the workshop. Home sweet home. So happy to see this rust bucket. Going camping is fun and all, but nothing beats my little workshop. All the things to tinker with. I shouldn't forget about the customers either. I'll need to work on the books for a while. If we want to see if they have more information about the imps and relics, Zenith said. She sounded a little sleep drunk. I won't be able to help you build servos and conduits for a while. I hope that's okay. They entered the workshop, and most of them immediately found their designated spots to sleep. Within seconds, the workshop was filled with noise, snoring from all angles. Zenith stumbled over to her own bedroll and lay down. Oftentimes she would meditate sitting up, but that night she lay down on her side for it. When the morning came, it took several hours before the others would wake up. She took some rest before starting on another book of the nymphs, but restlessness ended up pushing her to start working. For the next 3 days, Zenith would work on the books. At the end of every day, she would look more tired than the next, and instead of meditating every other night, she would do it every night. Meanwhile, Valentina tried to work on her book. Hazard kept working on some type of machine that he claimed would shoot off little explosions for some reason. Lachlan would make sure everyone ate and drank enough throughout the day. Delira tried to claim every transcribed piece of paper Zenith wrote out. Ira spent most of her time knitting various comfortable-looking sweaters, and Ida was tinkering on a couple of different devices, presumably different orders from customers. Intermittent conversations were largely kept to a minimum, with everyone busy with their own projects, except for Lachlan, who would chat with everyone upon delivering beverages to each respective workplace. None of these seem to have anything about the relics, Zenith said as she closed the book and shoved it away. Maybe not, but this one said a lot about the Witch Mountain. Maybe it'll tell you which one that is, or what might be there, Delira said, still looking through the papers. Zenith had written out general lines, because fully transcribing it would take days per book. I'm so tired, she grumbled, frustrated.
So, for all the books?
Lachlan asked, placing newly filled cups in front of the ladies. I read them all, but there's no mention of the relics. I don't understand.
Maybe that tribe wasn't familiar with the imps. The lake we were at was somewhat close to the north shore. Maybe these creatures stay more inland.
Lachlan sat down with them. It feels like I've done all this work for nothing. You have taught me so much about my people. This work is invaluable to me.
Even if it doesn't help us with the imps running around, you have helped translate text from a lost tribe. Translating that is a wonderful feat in its own right.
Zenith downed her drink and sighed. I'm going to meditate. They had only just eaten dinner, and the sun was still out and warm on the shop.
Hey, Idas, do you think there's a way to turn those freezer boxes inside out? Use ice element crystals to cool the air in here? I'm melting out of this chair.
Hazard shouted to the welding station where Ida spent most of her time. I should be able to, but wouldn't ice be too cold? If wind would suffice, that would be easier to build. Besides, the price for wind crystals is significantly lower than for ice ones. I could have had an extra receptacle doohickey in the machine to accept both at the same time. Is that something?
That's something, all right. Maybe calibrate the Huzumawatsu to rotate automatically as well. That way you could mount it to a wall.
Good thinking, Hazard. I don't think I can think straight in a heat wave. Let's get cracking. Idos moved her project off her table and grabbed some blueprint paper. While they worked on the blueprints, and later even started gathering supplies, Valentina, Ira, and Lachlan cleaned up the mess in her shop and kitchen. Valera kept looking through the transcriptions. She even took them to her bedroll at the end of the evening. Hazard and Idas, not bickering for once, worked tirelessly into the late hours to finish a contraption together. Zenith had risen from her meditation an hour after the others went to bed, but in the middle of the project. Idas made good use of her, asking for specific tools that Zenith had already memorized from the book she had read when she first came to the workshop. Do you want to test it while everyone's asleep? They technically shouldn't make noise, but Hazard and I built them. So they may explode instead. Idas whispered jokingly.
I wish they'd explode. Imagine the faces of the others. Golden!
Hazard tried to whisper as best as he could, still made more noise than Valera's speaking volume. Zenith looked over them wearily. It had become quite a warm night. Most people were sleeping off on top of their covers. One more night we should be able to survive. Tomorrow we'll be in cool air. Idas placed all the tools they used back on the tool rack in the appropriate spots.
Quite meticulous for a junk trawler like you.
It may look like a mess, but I keep track of all the things I have. I just wish my bottomless bag had a sorting function. Can't you make that, maybe? Well, I don't tinker well with magical items. Remember I tried to make a bigger aim catcher thingy doodle? It works off of the same magic. Zenith nodded. I wonder how magic works, she pondered, more to herself.
Magic is just mechanisms we don't understand yet. In due time and due practice, we'll learn its secrets and unravel the mysteries of all topics we do not fully grasp yet.
How eloquent! It took me a second to realize it was Hazard speaking. Idas looked at Zenith.
What's that supposed to mean?
Zenith laughed, and laughed at Idas's comment softly. I do really like that, Hazard. Well spoken.
I do hope they work. It's hotter than hell in here. It's hotter than hell in here now, so they better.
Hazard looked at the contraptions he and Idas created. A metal object sat on the ground, the front side shaped like a trumpet, covered by a mesh of steel. In the tube-shaped bodies attached to the back wall was a receptacle with an air element magic crystal securely placed within. In front of the air crystal was an ice element one, in its own receptacle, where on the other contraption that receptacle was empty. The three looked at the objects, and then to each other, noticing how exhausted they looked. They gave each other a smile and said good night as they went to their respective beds, hoping that tomorrow's temperature would be more bearable using these machines. Words. I did the sentence.
Yes,
It went well. Oh my god.
yes. You
So
just
in
put
that last bit,
in a thingy doodle and it works.
there was a sentence that a Holly wrote, and there are tryouts that did not go well.
Yeah.
There's a few words in this, like contraptions. My brain wants to go for contraception. I don't know why, but it happens. There's another one that I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say that was in the first chapter. It was tentacles. My brain, the first time I read that, wanted to say something else. I did not.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah, I'm glad that didn't go wrong.
Yikes.
That would have been a very different creature.
It's oh, it is based on a Greek monster, so it could have been Testicles.
It was horrible. Like, as I was reading it, I was like, "Oh, that's the word that I wanted to tell Holly about." Because in the walkthrough, it still went right. I did it correctly, but my brain went there, and I
And you
almost
didn't
started
remember which
laughing.
one.
I didn't remember which word it was, and now, as I was reading it, I was like, "Oh, right, it was that one."
There was one part that actually made me laugh in rehearsal as well. It's just the Hazard tried to whisper as best as he could, but yet still made more noise than the Lyra speaking
Yeah,
volume.
yeah, like that. I mean, it's fair though. The Lyra
Yeah,
speaks really slowly, softly, and he's definitely quite there.
yeah, he's a presence.
Yes.
Good presents, bad presents? Presents.
He's just there.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
he exists.
Yes. I'm
And if you
surprised
didn't
that
know, he.
Apple went for this one.
Yeah, it's
I would have expected her to go for this one.
round robin.
Hmm?
It's round robin. Just random pick.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. Yeah. There it goes. It's
It
more
went.
difficult with my head thingy on because it doesn't want to stay. Both is good.
Both is good.
He'll hang out here, it's fine. One more chapter, guys, for today.
She redeemed the cuddle the taco, so now she can do that herself.
Or did she grab the pink one?
No, I thought I threw
You
it to
did
her.
it. Okay, yeah, okay, cool. Then we can both cuddle. Almost
Yes.
like we're cuddling each other. Next week. And the week after. Is your brain now like, what's next week again?
No, I was waiting for
Okay.
ready.
What do you mean?
Wasn't that what we asked? If
No,
everybody
not
was
yet.
ready for the next one? Oh, not
Not
yet?
yet.
Oh. Excuse.
Do you want to? Because we can.
I'm not here to rush anything, but oh well.
She's ready. She is ready though.
Very ready.
Let's get on to the next chapter.
Sounds good to me.
Chapter 24. Summer was definitely on its way. By the time everyone woke up, the sun was beating down on the windows, and the whole workshop felt like an oven. Lachlan purposefully decided not to make a warm breakfast that morning.
This'll be a hot day.
He said, chuckling at the misfortune. At this rate, we can bake eggs on the roof. Is everybody ready yet? It feels like I'm melting. Ready for what? Ira asked, a little confused. As the last one to wake up, she looked around. Idas and Hazard were stationed around two newly built conical objects. The others were sitting at the table, waving handmade paper fans in front of their faces. Ready for these puppies, Ida said, as she put one of the trumpets on her shoulder and moved it to the center of the workshop. She jumped back the moment she hit the on button. Knowing that Hazard helped her build it, caution was of the utmost importance. Slowly, the machine spread cool air into the space. The machine was almost entirely silent, apart from a small noise sounding like blowing wind. Where the room was unbearable merely minutes prior, the group sat back in their chairs and collectively heaved a relieved sigh. The temperatures were stable and bearable. Geniuses, Valentina muttered, closing her eyes in comfort.
So what happens next?
Lachlan asked. He directed his question mostly to Zenith. I have read the books. None of them have any mention of the relics, but I would like to read the one about the Rich Mountain again. Do we know what Rich Mountain means? It might not even be a mountain.
Well, isn't that what she wants to? Why she wants to reread that one, Smarty?
Idas pouted. She didn't expect such a snarky comeback, not even from Hazard. I do think it's a mountain, and I saw some talk about elevation, but I was looking for words about relics. I also read some things about a beach in your transcripts. Maybe it's about the mountains up north. Delira offered to Zenith. Can you show me where? Delira grabbed the papers that had been transcribed and showed a piece of what Zenith had written out. She grabbed the correct book and backtracking found the passage she was looking for. Everyone looked at her. She read. She looked up. This will take me some time, guys, she said, diving back into the book. As Zenith got absorbed in the text again, the others went to do their own things. Delira stopped beside Zenith, making notes on Zenith's finds. Idas had disappeared into her welding booth, followed by Hazard, who was always in for some welding sparks to go flying. Lachlan, Ira, and Valentina sparked up a conversation about their past experiences, awaiting for Zenith to be done translating. The day was swallowed up by noises from the workbench worked on by Idas and Hazard. There was also a lot of rustling of papers by Zenith and Delira while working on the book, and by Valentina working on her bestiary. Locke, would you mind if I don't help you with dinner today? Zenith asked as he passed behind them.
No problem. You just keep working on your book.
Lachlan said, putting a hand on her shoulder. I can help you with some basic tasks, Ira said, standing up. I've actually just finished reading this one more in depth. I have a little bit of a headache. You have been working non-stop. I'm not surprised, Delira said, still looking through the papers.
Let's get you something to drink then.
Lachlan said, walking into the kitchen. Did you find out more about details on Witch Mountain? Ira asked, more to Delira, seeing as Zenith said she had a headache. A lot of the pages were about what type of creature can be found up there. Valentina's ears immediately perked up. She got closer and sat down at the table with them. But there are very vague mentions about a large trek across different waters. They said that the water tasted off to them, but they could move through it to get to Witch Mountain. Tasted off? You reckon that could mean seawater, since it's saltier, or something else entirely? And what was there about the creatures? Maybe we need to prepare. The sooner we know what to expect, the better we can prepare ourselves. Valentina peered through the notes in front of Delira, not realizing how close she sat to the nymph in her pursuit for knowledge. I think that could be a very good option, Delira answered Ira. She moved some of the relevant pages toward Valentina as she shifted a little to regain some of her personal space. Lachlan placed a large glass of water in front of Zenith and motioned for her to drink. She did as he asked, and she realized the water was actually helping soothe something in her head. She threw a small smile towards her friend. Goblin encampments, gremlin dwellings, the usual. Whoa! A Wendigo sighting? Those are rare. Valentina pointed to the text on a piece of paper.
Let's get everyone here. This sounds like something they would also like to know about.
Lachlan said. He turned towards the welding station and yelled for Ida once. A yelp, followed by a large zap, exited the curtains of the welding station. Two sets of goggles came peering out at who the culprit was of the yell. Four giant eyes looked straight at Lachlan through the magnified glasses. Their protective shielding flipped up. Found anything on What's-His-Face Mountain? Ida took off the glasses and placed them around her neck. The goggles left circles of brighter colored skin in her soot-covered face. Her silver hair was matted from sweating in the heat of the welder. The same was true for Hazard, although for him it was less bad, as he was much more used to superheated particulate debris splashing his face. His goggles ended up in his hair instead of around his neck.
Let's hear it. What's our next move?
He said as he dropped into a chair. We know a little more about what kind of creatures to expect, and we suspect they might have needed to cross the sea to get there. It doesn't sound like a long journey, though. A few days of travel by foot and swimming, maybe, Zenith clarified, and then took another big gulp of water.
Do you know what kind of supplies we'd need to face some of these creatures, Valentina?
Not much. Passing the goblins, we need as least amount of stuff possible. They take anything they see. Same for the gremlins, although they break anything they see. The Wendigo sighting may have been a myth after all, since no one ever reported seeing a Wendigo up close. Only in very vague tales does the Wendigo ever pop up. I think there were a few more creatures mentioned on the other page, but I'll go through them with Valentina so we can get supplies for it.
Do we even know where we are going?
Hazard asked, raising an eyebrow. Most people shook their heads no, except for Ira. You mentioned it wasn't too far, but they did have to cross possible seawater. It could be on the island up north and a bit to the west.
All right. Then tomorrow we can go check out the port and maybe find more information there.
Delira and Valentina spent the night conversing and speculating about the creatures there, while Hazard and Idas were teaching Zenith, Lachlan, and Ira to play a card game. The next morning they divided up their tasks. Delira and Valentina decided to go to Mirith to collect any items they might need to camp out on the mountain and deal with monsters described on the papers. Hazard asked to go with them, while the others continued on to Port Elbrook. Will we be out there for long? Judith asked Idas as the train traveled on to their destination. It depends. If we do get to cross the water today, then we'll be out for a while. If not, we'll sleep in the workshop again tonight. If we do get across, then it depends on how fast we can find the second relic. And then it depends on how fast we can make it back. For the short answer, no clue.
Very helpful.
Well, it does explain well what we need to know and ask about in town,
Astute observation.
he admitted with a little smirk. Will the others join us in Port Elbrook today?
Depending on how long their shopping would take.
After a smooth journey in the train, they entered the port town. Zenith wasn't the only person breathing in the fresh sea scent as they exited the train. They walked across town from the train station to the wharf. Lachlan walked up front of the group and stepped straight for the ferryman. The rugged sailor had a distinct outfit that made him stand out, beside the gills and blue scales the merman donned all over his body.
Excuse me, Captain. We would like to cross this here canal. Would that be possible today still? Captain? You hear that, Sal? Seems I'm cut for captain too.
The sailor yelled to the lower deck. A sturdy woman came walking up the small stairs. It was a small vessel, with only one lower deck, but more than big enough to house the crew and several passengers. Don't mind it, Sonny. You'll get your chance yet. I'm the captain of this mess. They call me Captain Red, but you can call me Salin, Sal for short. What can I do you for?
These here peoples want to cross the canal. Today, no less.
Just the four of you? No problem. If you can pay the fare, you can board right now.
Actually, we are a party of 7. The others will be joining us later.
7? I don't have room for 7 this run.
Will you be traveling again today? Or perhaps tomorrow?
We have one more trip at the end of the afternoon, but then you won't be getting back on the mainland today.
That would be lovely then. At the end of the afternoon, would it fit all 7 of us?
This vessel holds up to about 10 passengers plus Nogus and myself. The other passengers that will be boarding will be at 9 with the lot, so adding another 3 won't be possible. At the end of the afternoon, I have another run scheduled where there's enough space to fit all of your party, but that would be a one-way trip. Nogus and I live on that island, you see,
That's not a problem.
Lachlan said with a charming smile. We intend to explore the island. It's a silver piece each for the one-way trip, Sal said, nodding with a knowing look. The mountains are dangerous. Make sure you bring good gear.
No need to be worried, Captain. That's exactly what our companions are currently procuring.
They parted and agreed to be at the dock 30 minutes before departure. Zenith, Idas, and Ira were excited to see the entire town, while they waited for the others to arrive. They found each other a good hour before they needed to be at the dock. Hazard, Delira, and Valentina were all carrying several bags that they distributed amongst the others, so everyone was carrying something. Lachlan filled them in on the plan, after which they went towards the dock for their next adventure. It didn't take them long to arrive at the ship that would take them across the canal. They were early, and the ship was docked and ready for passengers. Lachlan was already counting out 7 silver pieces to pay the fare for everyone. You are here early, I like that, Sal said when she saw them coming.
Any good business person is never late. We are all together and ready. When do we leave, Captain?
Lachlan jiggled his hand, rustling the coins. Noglus looked up from the cabin at Lachlan's hand, like it was food after he was starved for the week. We're still waiting on our original departure time. We have one more shipment coming aboard. Noglus, show these good people the layout and where they are allowed to walk. The captain took the coins from Lachlan as they stepped aboard. I've never been on a boat either. Does it work on magic like the trains? It works on water, sweetheart. None of that magic humbug here. Good old-fashioned craftsmanship and a little luck on the wind direction, Captain Selin said as she counted the coins.
Right here you'll be for this near trip across the water, yeah? No touching anything but railing. Don't want anything out of place, here?
Douglas pointed to a large deck with several benches. The look in his eyes screamed authority. Clearly this was his home, and he didn't want some outsider to do anything he couldn't oversee. Thank you, sir, Sivert said in her usual bubbly voice. The captain stifled a chuckle almost immediately. His head whipped around to the captain, seeing if she noticed how he handled the passengers. The merman was met with a smirk from Sal. which was enough to have him skip into the cabin blushing, as much as his scaled skin allowed him to. The last boxes were placed in the lower deck of the ferry. As the dock workers left, Salem pulled the rope from the dock anchor and jumped aboard. Slowly they drifted onto the vast steel blue. This guy pronounces things even worse than you, Hazard.
Yeah, well, I've been taught to articulate. I sometimes choose not to.
Sometimes. Lachlan and Valentina, the two people closest to Ida's and Hazard, grinned at that comment. The water was smooth, and everyone was interested in watching how Captain Salem and Douglas manned the ship together. They saw the value in sitting by the railing, because they rushed across the ship back and forth a lot to man the ropes, sails, and rudder. Zenith especially was enthralled watching how it all worked. It still looks like magic to me, earning her a soft pat on the shoulder from Lachlan. Finished. That's it!
That's it.
That's it! I think I changed Salem's thing again. Accent.
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
I tried to make her as sturdy as I could, okay?
It's fine. It's fine.
Yes, she did. Well done. Hello, welcome back. Did you get all the things you needed?
Exactly, Vix. Exactly.
You know why Wendigo sightings are so rare? Because it's been seen. It's a Wendigo, dang it.
Yeah, it's going. When they're going.
Yeet! I mean, Ram, it's not that bad. Because that just means that you can watch the entire stream again. Because otherwise you would have come in at a point where you just didn't understand what's going on anyway.
Yes.
I have green and food, so it's fine. You didn't get everything you needed? What you need? What do you still need? Maybe I have some. I'll come bring it. That is true.
True. That's for true.
I like how my American, or try to be American accent starts to go into the Irish that Ira is.
Yeah, I hate to break it to you, but your American is definitely not American.
No.
I don't know what it is, but it's not American.
Sorry. I mean,
So,
at first I wanted to do for Ira like the posh British accent, and that didn't work out either. And then it ended up being the Irish, which works really well, I think.
yeah. Originally, because I was the one who wrote Captain Salen. Uh, exactly, yeah, perfectly. Um, because I wrote her text, he asked me, like, what do you want her to sound? So I said, well, do it a little Southern American accent.
Yeah, not happening.
And this is the result of a Southern American accent
Maybe I
without
should.
any experience.
Maybe I should have looked up those Southern mamas. Let's do that
Yeah.
accent. Yeah, no, it's a difficult thing. Accents are a thing.
Yes, definitely.
The biggest problem I'm gonna have is in 3 weeks I'm gonna have to do it again. Maybe even longer. I don't know how long.
I have no
I
clue.
think it was next week or next time. I mean, next
I do not
in,
remember.
oh, same. I feel like every time I want to imitate an American one, it's trying to be Texan like. I mean, you want to Texan. That's kind of the problem. Like I wish it would sound.
Yeah, but that's what she's trying to do, but then goes into more
Oh,
Australian.
I mean, Australian is fine. They do sound similar, so I get that.
Not at all.
Yes, they
Not
do.
at all. Not at
Yes,
all.
they do.
No, they absolutely do not. Australian
Similar enough.
Australian is like the Texas from Britain.
Oh, that's fair.
It has nothing to do with Texan accent or Southern accent.
I'll give you that. I mean, it is different. I'm not saying it's the same. I'm saying it's similar enough to fall into that instead. I can definitely see that happen. Actually, I've seen people do that on
It's
purpose on
similar, like
TikTok.
blue and green.
No, it's well. I mean, yes, that works.
It's not green. It's not close.
It's turquoise. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Or Canadian, because not saying A is hard. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
A. Make that Australian becomes I.
Aye.
I. But technically, you could have done a really cool pirate accent for either Nicholas or Hazard. To be fair.
I could have, but I like the crazy accent that I gave Douglas.
Yeah.
You hear?
I hear. Try using a Scottish accent. Purple burglar alarm.
Oh, the burglar alarm. Yes, they can't say that.
If you say it slowly enough, you can. But if you do it in a full accent, it's impossible.
Burglar alarm.
I like Scottish. I like
Scottish is
Irish,
nice.
which is why I like that Irish.
Yes.
I think it fits her really well.
Yeah.
I think it was a good stream.
Hell yeah.
About an hour. We did it quickly, actually.
Yeah. Rehearsal takes longer.
Because we end up laughing about everything.
Well, maybe.
Like we when we do our walkthrough, this is also for the other people here, but like when we do our walkthrough, will not have remembered most of what we've written for a while. So if things like the who's and what's it's come by, we tend to laugh because it's like, oh yeah, right, we put that in. And there's certain sentences where you've written it, and then I need to say it, and then you're like, haha, I can't say it, which you don't do it that way, but it's definitely true.
Yeah.
So we end up laughing a lot when we do the walkthroughs, partially because we don't remember everything, partially because there's just stupid sentences or mistakes that are stupid. The word revolutionary
Revolutionary was technically
wasn't,
not in the original
no, it
text,
was the
but
normal one,
it
and
was
I
a mess.
couldn't.
It was a mess up by Key, and I thought it was very accurate to how Idas would say it, so I changed it
Revolutionary.
in there. The other one that Key, even in this stream, didn't really do all that great was the
The
superheated
particulate.
particulate debris.
I hate that one. It's so annoying. But it didn't go as bad as it did in the walkthrough. It went
Oh, you mean
better.
pausing and trying it 2 times again? Yes. No, it did. It did definitely went better this time.
So yes, it takes us longer to do walkthrough, but there's a good reason for that.
The thing is also like we know so much more than what we're here at. Um, so it's every time we look at the walkthrough, it's like, oh, they're here still.
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah, basically. I also just remembered like the next bit as we were reading through this. My brain was like,
Yeah.
"Oh right, that's gonna happen," and I just completely forgot that it was a thing. And I can't say it because it's a spoiler.
Yeah, it's gonna be soon.
Yeah, 3 weeks. Should be 3 weeks.
That should be.
I hope everyone had fun.
I'm sure they had.
Did you?
I did. Yes. Did
With
you?
the like 9 sentences you had? Yeah, I did.
Yes. My all of my 9 sentences.
Soon, PM. Yes,
Soon TM.
definitely had fun. Good. I'm
Good.
glad.
Do you also like the part that comes after it, Apple?
Do you remember the part that comes after it, Apple?
I mean, the entire rest of our progress comes after it.
True.
That part.
All of the things.
It's about half. Doesn't matter.
Fun stuff. Yes, yes, yes. Is it? No, it's not. Well, No, it's not. Because
What?
our next chapter is going to be 25, and we're at 39.
Oh yeah, we started at 22, which is about half.
Yeah, man. From what we have, at least. I don't know how much it's going to be. I
Yeah,
might like end up at. There are many
many
good
good
things coming.
things.
There may
Yes,
also be not so good things coming, but there are many good things coming.
there are many good things coming. Good
And
story. I'm
twists
happy
and
with it.
turns. Yes, we do. We also have a lot more ideas for the next ones.
Oh yes, Brimmin.
Did we already say how many books there are going to be? Did we make that an announcement?
I don't remember, but
Do you want to make that an announcement? I'm not saying it's going to be good for the characters. That's fair.
yeah.
That's actually accurate.
I guess we can. Yeah.
I did a set. We did definitely discuss that. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You wanted to point it out.
So we've already decided and partially planned some of them, but we are going to make 7 books.
Yes.
Yes.
So this is the second book in a series, and yeah,
Yep.
it's gonna be a 7 series or 7 book series in total.
Yes.
Hype.
Very excited.
They're all gonna be very short names that have something to do with the book, but
Yeah.
no one knows it yet. We don't actually know it yet.
No.
We have planned a little bit of our characters, mostly just the names.
Yeah. Some of them actually have fully fledged.
Yeah, and we have a general direction on where we're going. Most of it is still obscure because we try to not think about the grand scheme of things too
Yeah, but we
early.
have a red line to where we need to get to.
Yeah,
But that is like so vague that we can pour in anything else in the meantime.
exactly.
Yeah.
And even that can still just change a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, it's not set in stone that this is going to happen then.
No, that's my point. We can pour in anything, anywhere,
Yeah,
alongside what we already have in mind.
yeah.
Yep. Very
Very
difficult to say
vague.
everything that I want to say without saying things I want to say, because that's spoilers.
Well, if you don't have anything to say that people know, then don't say anything.
I didn't.
Exactly.
Everyone knows that I'm really good with keeping my spoilers. See, it takes you a second to actually see that, but I was immediately shaking my head no.
Yeah,
I may have,
yeah,
I may accidentally have spoiled a few things for Apple. It's every now and then, it's fine.
maybe.
Yes, it did.
Maybe.
I definitely did.
In any case, let's
One,
change topic before we actually talk about stuff that we shouldn't.
that's fair. Where is the thing that's annoying me? There it is. Well, I mean, I would actually say, like, if there's nothing else we want to say,
Well,
then maybe
I
finish
got
for
nothing
today.
else to say,
Shocking. No, me neither.
so
Don't worry about it. I
let's.
forget everything anyway.
Ah, yes. Let's go throw this bunch to Mr. Night Dream.
Yep, sure. How do we do that again? Raid
Slash raid.
Mr. Dream. Did I do it right? I
You
did it
sure
right.
did.
Cool. Thank you guys
Oh
so
yeah.
much for being here. And then go ahead for
Yes.
your outro.
Thank you also very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed as much as we did, and we'll see you next time.
I'll see you in 3 weeks. Say
Bye
hello to
bye.
the night for us. Bye bye.
Yes.
Pick the raid.